We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thua Su Che Do Ye Ở La Hư Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Tát Tha Tu Ya Đa Ya A La Ha De Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Thoa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai, Jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jie wen de shou ci, yuan jie ru lai zheng shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Chư Yi, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good known advisors of Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Sát, chư Trở Đại Sư, 师父上人，各位出家人，各位上智师，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Trí Giả Đại Sư Hòa Thượng Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sư Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 25th of May 2024, and thank you for joining our discussion of the Vimalakirti Sutra here at Gold Forest. All right, we started talking about the Vimalakirti Sutra. We went through the introductory slides. Now we go to the Sutra text itself, chapter 1, Buddha lands. Okay, so we go through the introductory part of this chapter as well, general things, general principles, overview of the chapter, which is actually a treat from Master Chutra. Thank you very much. So let's go through it. So it's about Buddha lands. Buddha lands are where Buddhas live. In fact, when you immediately one might ask the question, if this is Shakyamuni Buddha's Buddha land, the Saha world, where is he? Why is he dead? Okay, he's still here, but we can't see him. How is that? As the answer. Okay, so he created his Buddha land here. This is home for him. All right. And this Buddha land here is generated from the Dharma body. Okay, So the Buddha has his Dharma body, and from there he generates this Buddha land, and you learn more about why later. Right here. So it's generated from living beings, is meaning it's auto-generated. Okay, generated from the Dharma body is called self-generated. But also, it's also the aspect of where we are in this Buddha land is also auto-generated, meaning that this Saha world, where we are, is the result of the collective karma of sentient beings. And that's why it is said in Buddhism, the types of living beings, the Buddha's Pure Land. Okay, it may be a little bit far-fetched for you, but at a smaller scale, the same principle. This temple. Oh, I thought we were sleeping. You're too quiet. This temple is others generated. It's a collective karma of you sentient beings. And because of you, we've been here for 5 years. Isn't it amazing? 5 years. We're 5 years old. You know that? Sound effects. Fireworks, huh? And okay. You realize that? It's been like 5 years already. Isn't it amazing? 4? 4 years. 1 year different, who cares? But it came about, we came here when it was still a dumping ground for the neighborhood. And the early days, we spent a lot of time cleaning out the garbage and then fight the squatters. They punch a hole here and they climb down to live here. Okay, they dump the garbage outside and then they live inside. Okay, and that's squatters for you. So you see, what we got here today is because of you, and I'm very proud of it because each and every one of you. Not just Go Forest, but also at all our way places. It happened, it came together, it's still functioning. It's all because of you. Okay? Because you contributed, each and every one of you is important. That's what it means by collective karma of sentient being. Collective karma meaning that the collective work we all put into our way places. Okay? And it's only possible because we all pitched in, all of us. Okay? And so that's the same thing with the Pure Land. And the bigger scale, the Pure Land came about because of each and everyone's aspirations. You know, it came about because a long time ago, a man called Lloyd, he says, I would like to have a Pure Land where in San Jose I will have my own way place. I can call second home. Okay? And so, you see, it's a collective karma. Because when you want it, you build it, you maintain it, and you work for it, and that's what Buddha lands are for. The collective karmas of sentient beings, and also of the Buddha. The Buddha sees it. He says, "I will respond to the desire and wishes of these beings that I owe to." Yeah, you're a creditor to the Buddha. That's why he's here. Isn't that cool? The Buddha owes us. Sound effects, sound effects. There you go. Okay, thank you. Calm down, calm down. Okay, so it's a reminder we're all in this together. You know, what we do affects others, okay? And therefore, if you take that perspective, you will be a lot more all-embracing. You don't need to fight, you don't need to invade, you don't need to steal. Let's build something, let's be constructive, build something together. Because that's what this Buddha land stands for. Okay, and that's the end of my political message today. Okay, Lotus Sutra says, the three realms all belong to me, and all living beings are within them are my children. This is the attitude of the Buddhas. He looks at us with the kind eyes of a father. He says, you are my children. I cannot ignore you. I will work hard to provide for you and to help you and to take care of you to make sure you're happier. Okay? So, 36. Next aspect of Buddha lands, differentiation or difference in perceptions of Buddha lands. And so it's funny, it's interesting because Master Chucha goes through the kinds of thoughts that would arise in people's mind. So he answers them for us. I used to think have these types of questions, but I didn't know who to ask. And he's actually was asked already. It was the answer were provided in Chinese already a long, long time ago. Okay, it just wasn't made available to us. Okay, because they deem is not important. Okay, so there are 4 types of Buddha lands from our perspective. If you look at Buddha land as how it's seen, how it's perceived, then 4 types. 4 general types. Defiled Pure Land, expedient land with residues, land of rewards, and eternally still and bright Buddha land. Okay? A is Saha world. We look at our world as defiled. Okay? Defiled, and we learn more defilement, purity, and so forth as we go along here because Master Chui is very detailed. Okay, I'm so grateful to all of you for helping translate this and finding the source and translate it and so forth. And I have a chance to study it. Okay, I see. Even my lecture is the collective karma of all of us as well. All right, and so there's a defiled Pure Land where both the sages and the ordinary people or the confused people cohabit. No discrimination. Okay? So, that is the Saha world. Okay? There's no discrimination. The sages come here, they live like us, they eat like us, they do things like us, and so forth. And so that we have the chance to rub elbows with the sages, okay, and learn from them. One of the things we learn, like with children, is by observation. So children learn from watching us, listening to us, okay? And so that's why the proximity and to be able to see people, how they live, how they eat, how they walk, and so forth, is how we learn, how we catch on. Okay, so to be able to cohabit with the sages, people who are better than us, is extremely useful to us. All right, and in this defiled Pure Land here or impure land here, that Shakyamuni decided to reveal to us his Buddha land as, That's how we see his land as impure. Okay, and so it's impure in a sense that there are realms, 3 realms of the sages. Okay, meaning the sound hearers, the arhats, and the enlightened conditions. Those are the 2 sages of the Hinayana vehicle. And number 3 is our bodhisattva. So those are the 3 sagely paths. Okay, they live together with the ordinary beings belonging to the 6 paths. The 6 paths are the hells, lowest. Okay, you're a big naughty boy, you go to the hells. Then next, a hungry ghost, always hungry, always thirsty, okay, for millions upon millions of years. Next realm is animal realm, okay, and next realm would be the Asura realm. Asura is supposed to be an undesirable realm because although they have a lot of blessings, but they suffer a lot as well. Okay, so it's undesirable. They have the blessings. It is said the Asuras are the people who like to fight. Okay, who love to quarrel, to fight. Anyone? 1, 2. Okay, never mind. 3. Okay. Yeah, the women. It's all women. The men are nicer. Men here in our temple are doves. Okay, so the Asuras, they like to fight. So it is said they have the same blessings as the heavenly beings, but they don't have the virtue. It's very revealing. You know, they're entitled to get there, but they cannot stay. You see, that's what they have the blessings to get there, meaning they can buy membership, they can get in, okay, but they cannot stay. They don't belong, so they have to get out. Okay. So the heavens is not for them, even though they can afford it. Think about it, okay? San Jose, same thing. It's too expensive. So we get to stay here in our little corner where the poorest section of San Jose. We cannot go to the mainstream San Jose, okay? But that's your collective karma. Anyway, so the Asuras, they like to fight, especially children, they like to fight. Okay? And that's path number 4. Path number 5 is humans, of course. You know about humans. And number 6 is the celestial beings, or the gods and the goddesses. All right? And so in the impure land where we are, we sages and the ordinary people cohabit. Second type of Buddha land is the experience land with residues. Okay, the translation that I saw from my peers is with residue. That shows that they don't understand the nature of this. It has a lot of residues, not residue. Residue is one, it's not a big deal. Residues is a big deal. Okay? It's like when you fall in love, okay? When a woman falls in love with a man, okay? Which happens occasionally. Okay, they will marry you as long as you have one residue, but not two residues, I'm told. No? Not funny. Okay, never mind. So, expedient lands and residues, that's where the sound hearers can go, okay? But only they are allowed to stay there temporarily only. Because they're supposed to move on to number 3, land of rewards. That's where it's well worth it. When you go from B to C, then you understand why. Okay? And this is where the bodhisattvas live. And finally, the 4th type is where Buddhas live, where it's always still and bright. It's interesting to hear the name of this Buddha, where the Buddhas live, and describes the state of the Buddha. The Buddha is always, meaning Buddhas will never change. Okay? Still, meaning that Buddhas, what? What does it mean still? It's not quiet. Quiet is when there's no voice. Still is that when you have boy, you still have still. So what does still mean? See, one boy listens, the other one is just fighting something. What does still mean? Yes, sir, too.
Well, still it doesn't move.
Doesn't move. What doesn't move?
Its body, its mind.
The mind doesn't move. Okay? Ordinary people's mind are constantly moving. In what way? Thinking. Okay? That's what I said. Today at lunch, I explained that I said, in Silicon Valley, I gave you, this is secret of Silicon Valley of the world that I will reveal for you today. Okay? The reason that in Silicon Valley here, we are expected to bust our butts working because it's for a reason. The reason being that when you work and work and work and work and work, you will become exhausted. Okay? And when you're exhausted, what happens? You stop thinking. That's when you make new discoveries. This is what the scientists and the researchers don't understand. They think it's like luck or whatever, or hard work, but no. It's the hard work is designed to make you exhausted. Then, because when you're exhausted, you stop thinking. That's when you can think out of the box. That's a secret. Oops, we should edit this out, and only for subscription. The people who subscribe can see the subscription version. You got that? And so that's why in my generation, we are conditioned to work hard and bust our butts. But in the younger generation, they're not anymore. When the Gen Z or whatever, XZ, I don't know, is it X or Y? I don't know anymore. Or YX or YY, I don't know. You're not biologists, are you? Never mind. And so they are not willing to work anymore, and so I'm predicting to you that there will be a decline in inventiveness, in productivity, in thinking out of the box. Unless you learn Chan, you learn meditation. Okay? And Chan is the best form of meditation and that enables you to still your mind so that you can think out of the box. You're not impressed. Oh my God, I reveal secrets to you that is worth billions and trillions of dollars. You don't need AI AI cannot think out of the box. You can. You have to program AI. You have to think out of the box, then you program AI. AI cannot come up with thinking out of the box by itself. You have to program it. Okay? Anyway, where were we? Okay, so still is you stop thinking. So Buddhas, in other words, don't think at all. In contrast, we think all the time, and we're proud of it, like that French philosopher, I think, therefore I am. Is it Pascal, Descartes, whoever? Descartes. Inferior French philosopher. I think, therefore I'm a loser. Should be the motto. Okay? So, the point is that you need at some point in time to learn to still your mind. Because Buddha says, when I still my mind, I am at my best for my children. Because he says, remember what I said? All living beings within my Buddha land are my children. And how does he take care of his children? By stilling his mind. Isn't that fascinating? How do you say bravo in Espanol? Bravo! Booyah! Booyah! Yeah. Okay. And not only does he still his mind, also it's a land of brightness, of light. Of light meaning what? Nothing to hide, nothing hidden at all. What you see is what you get. And also it means clarity. It's nowhere to hide. Everything is clear and bright. So that's wisdom. It's a function of wisdom. Okay? Buddha's in a state of wisdom. That's why he's always bright. His mind is always bright. Okay? That's where Buddha lives. You want to go there, you have to always be still and be bright. You know, impressed. I'm revealing to you all these state secrets in Buddhism. And, I feel like so underappreciated, But when you're a beggar, you can't make demands. 37. Okay, number 3, another aspect of Buddha land. Should I skip on this? This doesn't interest you at all? This is, it's not typically done. When they lecture sutras, actually, even my master, he didn't go into this type of details. So I know that many of you probably are not interested in this kind of intellectual and theoretical things. Shall we skip it? I'm glad to skip it. I have a lot of slides ready today. I go up to 300 slides now. No, let's skip it. You can hear him say no without even him having to say anything. He's like, no. That's from his wife training. Would you like this? No. Like some beer? No. Okay, shall we skip it? No? Okay. Viva Mexico! Okay. So, the causes for cultivating the Buddha's Pure Land. Okay. How can you have your own Pure Land? Here in San Jose, we have to bust our butts to have our own house. Okay? But you want to have a Pure Land? Would you like to learn how? So you have to plan the causes to have the Pure Land. And so this sutra here, it says, explains the causes of creating this Pure Land. Okay? Okay, so this is a Buddhist jargon. It's okay, you should listen to it. It says, the sutra here will clarify dependent retribution land. Dependent retribution, meaning that there are two types of retributions. Proper is yourself. Your body is called proper. You, yourself. Okay, you're short, tall, skinny, bald, and so forth. Poor, no, not poor. Okay. So physically, it's your proper retribution. Proper is your own. Dependent retribution meaning that the outside. Okay. So we have a shared common dependent retribution in this Saha world. Okay. And so he says that it turns out it's kind of interesting concept here. He says that the outside world, okay, is based on us. In other words, the land, the water, the rivers, the mountains, okay, are there to serve us or in response to our needs. Isn't it interesting? No? And so, because I use as a starting point, as a base of my reading is the AI translation, and in this section here. AI in some places really excels, okay? But in this particular phrase in Chinese here, AI messed up royally, okay? I thought I pointed out to you just in case you want to feed your AI baby again. It's way off, okay? Not even close. It's like I'm here in the US, they're talking about Russia. Okay, and here in this chapter here, the Buddha, in response to Bodhisattva wealth accumulation, who is a son of the elder, one of the elders in the city, and explains the direct dependent cause, direct horizontal. I don't know. I meant to ask you this. Horizontal is a Chinese word. And then is translated by ChatGPT as direct. Is that correct in Chinese? I didn't know that. And then indirect is vertical. Heng and shu or shu. Hang. Yeah. Indirect is it? And direct is this. Is there a Chinese reason for that? No one knows? Is it old Chinese or what? Anyway, so you see this again in later text. Okay. And so the Buddha explains that it's okay, there's 17 proper causes and direct causes for the Buddha land, and then 13 causes, indirect causes. Okay, so that's and then furthermore, slide 38, It says, because we perceive our Buddha land differently because of us. So the sutra says, an example says, the devas, okay, or the gods or goddesses, they can have the same precious utensils to eat. Like when the gods and goddesses, when they eat, they use these bowls. They are made out of gems. They're not made out like ceramics like we. Ceramics for the god is for dogs to eat. As an analogy for you. Okay? Even if it's made in Japan, still... okay, it's not for human use. Okay? And so that's why he said, it's kind of comical to me how it's funny, but it's very, very accurate. It says the gods, they share the same precious utensils. The bowls and the things they use to eat, eating utensils, actually are made of precious gems and metals. Okay? But the colors of the food vary according to their merit, meaning that they serve on this jewel bowl, okay? Hint, hint. I made sure I include this, even has its own separate slide, in case you haven't noticed. Okay, and in the future, Xianxin, I'd like you to have some images, a precious bowl. Okay, and what happened is that they serve food into this, using this priceless eating utensils, bowls and steak knives and so forth. But the way that the gods perceive the food they're eating, some think it's like steak, and someone looks at it, some author look at it as Wagyu beef. So depending on your retribution, your level of blessings, you look at it differently. Okay? Yeah, and so that's the nature of your blessings. Isn't that interesting? Same food, but they perceive differently. So the pleasure, the joy derived from the food is based on your blessings. To me, it's so fascinating. So you know what I learned from that? I made a resolution. I would like, instead of a red car, precious utensils. Okay? Shall we think about it for a minute before moving on? Okay? All right, 39. Rebirth. Okay. So, how do you transmigrate from body to body to body? Okay. Jargon, movement from this life to the next is called rebirth. Moving from next life back to this one is called coming into life. I don't know why they have to talk about it. Okay, because once I'm out of here, I'm out of here. I ain't coming back. I don't know about you. I mean, but I ain't coming back. I'm going to the Pure Land after this, okay? Rebirth in lower realms based on views, delusions, and thought delusions. Okay, and this is the general principles behind it. It's worth going into it because because it's only in Buddhism you have this clear connection between the cause and the effect. If you don't want to go have a bad things happen to you, you make sure you do the right thing. So avoid doing the wrong things. It's so Buddhist, okay? Because only Buddhism, you see this direct connection. Only in Buddhism, let me tell you, okay? About everything in life, okay? Jewel bowl and red cars and everything. Okay, so lower realms refers to the four realms: animal realm, asura realm, ghost realm, and hells. I consider lower realms because you suffer a lot more than out of life than you enjoy yourself. Okay, therefore it's considered undesirable. Here in the human realm, we suffer a lot. We suffer 8 hours a day, but going home to our beloved wives, that makes up for it. We say, I'm going back to work tomorrow because I love my wife dearly. Okay? Here, if you need to know why you born in the lower realms, because you have view and thought delusions. Okay, in particular, delusions from view or thoughts that are permeated by evil actions, evil deeds. Just because you have delusions, that's one thing. But for you to act on your delusions is way another. So even though you have evil views, evil thoughts and so forth, but if you don't act on them, you will not fall to lower realms. How is that? Is that clear enough? I'm not looking at anyone in particular. Okay? It's such insane. So, and delusion, meaning you have view and thought delusions, but you create good karmas will help you get reborn into the human and heavenly realms. Isn't that nice to know? Do good, avoid evil. That's simple. Okay? So that's why you don't need to tell them you a Buddhist thing. Just tell them, say, hey, if you're worried about your future and you want to have a good life, do good. You want to have a bad life? Okay? Avoid evils. And that's not just rebirth. It's about the connection between your happiness, your well-being, with your karmas you're creating. Okay? So never mind about next life, but right now, if you want to have a good life, do good. You have unpleasant life, do evil. So you notice, for example, the people in the news who are known to do evil things, look at how quickly they aged. I'll give you a minute to think about it. You look at when they started these evil deeds, how they aged over time, much faster. They're paying personally. They're paying a personal price, but they choose to ignore it. And what's not sad is they don't realize that internally they're very sick. Inside, the bugs are eating them away. Not just manifest outside as wrinkles and loss of hair and problems with hearing. What did you say? That kind of thing. And wear glasses. You can't see anymore. Okay, so be careful. And for Hinayana sages, they're called to have residues because it's interesting. Desires leave residues, even for sages. To me, that's interesting. And that's why these arhats, the true Hinayana sages, they want nothing from us. They said, no, I don't need your money. I don't need your house. I don't need your car. Okay, give the red car to Master YongHua, that kind of thing. Okay, because they understand this. They realize that those desires, okay, leave residues, and that causes them trouble. And that's how pure they are. Isn't it interesting? Not to you. Okay, never mind. 40. God, we go through a lot of these profound principles, but you're not impressed. I never learned about these things. It's so clear to me on how beautifully Master Chui made the connection and help us understand the principles behind it. You know, to me, it's so cool. And again, I really appreciate the ChatGPT to help me speed up this thing, because when I read Chinese text, it's one character at a time. I copy and paste into the dictionary and look, and I put it back. The English translation, and then I piece them together. So, thank you, Lord, for AI. Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah. Yeah, you too. Yeah. I wish I had that so that I can write for me. Yeah. Okay. And so depending on the nature of the teachings, the different teachings explain the Buddha lands differently. Okay, and so let's go through them. The teaching of impure and pure lands, where both sages and ordinary people dwell within, they have impurities. These impure lands have impurities, being the 5 turbidities and the various obstructions. We go into the 5 turbidities these sometimes later, maybe like next slide. There you go. Okay, the 5 turbidities. Okay, because they're impure, they have these turbidities. Turbid is like you have some mud, you have a glass of water, and with clear water, and you throw some mud in it and you stir it up. That's turbid. You cannot see anymore. And you don't want to drink anymore either. Okay? So turbid is undesirable for us. Yeah. And heavy obstructions, and the roots being sharp or dull. Dull roots with heavy obstructions require skillful techniques of 3 baskets. And this sounds like ChatGPT, it's not me. Okay, 12 divisions, very expedient, Lotus Nirvana Sutras, in order to hear the perfect teachings. In pure realm, both gradual and sudden teachings are taught. Okay, so what it means is that in our impure land right now, we're having everything it takes to teach us, to help us become enlightened. Okay? Because this is a plan from low-level blessings or zero blessings to high-level blessings, because we cohabit, the poor and the rich together. So we share a lot of common dependent retribution. We go we check into the same hotel, call for reservation, the same restaurant, and so forth. You see, so that's why where we are, the Buddha have these various tools to different types of teachings for depending on who you are. The 12 divisions of the teachings, and yet they use expedients to help us learn better. Lotus Nirvana Sutra, that's for those who are advanced, the 0.1%, if you will. Okay, so that's why in our land and our world we have a full range of Buddhism. Whereas if you go to the Pure Realm, then you only have gradual and certain teachings, because those are people are so advanced already. So there's no need for lower teachings. Okay. Number 2. Small vehicle, Hinayana, or big vehicle, are simply, and this is kind of interesting, only expedients for the people with dull faculties. Okay? So, meaning that we are learning here about Mahayana because we have dull faculties. No? But that's what it says here. It's not me, it's Master Chuyi. He says, you are so dull, so I'm going to teach you Mahayana. Okay? And he says the arhats actually are considered to be dull. To me, it's funny. It's from Master Chuyi, it's not me. Okay? Okay. 5 turbiddities. This is where I take a break and ask the Chinese people to explain it to you. China girl, go ahead. Taiwan girl, go ahead. What happened to the older boy? This might be of interest to him. He's not here. He went to school? No. Okay. 5 turbidities. You will keep on coming into this concept. Okay. I think the other older boy is right behind me. 5 turbidities, where there are different kinds of turbidities, undesirable things for us. Kalpa, view, affliction, living beings, and a lifespan. Turbidity. Okay, let's look into them. Kalpa turbidity. Okay, kalpa turbidity. Kalpa refers to the time. Okay, and this time here, during this time period, bad things happen. So, if you're born into this land during this time period of kalpa turbidity, then you have a lot of suffering. What kind of turbidity? First of all, don't panic. It's not right now. Not yet for us. Because even though we're not that far from it, but we're not quite there yet. Okay? So for example, maybe your children's time, they'll run into it, but not our time, we're safe. They're not even worried. That's why they're children. You see, you're worried when you hear about it, but they're not worried. They say, hey, Dad, what's happening? And so, I'm kidding. No, not even your children's generation. Is still quite a ways. Okay, don't worry. You're safe for now. Okay, and you still have time to make sure they go to the Pure Land. Oh yeah! Very appropriate. Oh yeah! So, during this time period here, when our average lifespan reaches about 30 years on the average, then you have a famine calamity. When the average lifespan, like, how old are you? 9 or 8? 10 already? Boy, are you close, because 30 years you're dead. When you're in this period, because what happens right now, our average lifespan is 60 years right now. Higher here, but shorter in Gaza Strip. So that's why average is about 60, okay? Average. Say every 100 years, the average lifespan will decrease by 1. Okay? So in the next century, it will be 59. Okay? Next century, you'll be dead already. Okay? So you're safe. Okay? But your children... And he said, "My boy, am I glad I'm a boy? I don't have to worry about these issues." Okay, so every 100 years, the average lifespan decreases. So right now, 60. So in 100 years times 30, in 30,000 years, that's when they're going to have these calamities. So we're safe. Don't worry, Lloyd. Trust my arithmetic. He says, 100 times 30? It's 3,000, not 30. I told you, don't worry. It's all numbers. It doesn't matter. You engineers, terrible. You most boring people. 30,000, 3,000 to me is all the same. 30,000 with 0 is still, same as 3,000 with 0. Anyway, so in 3,000 years, okay, the average lifespan will reach 30 years. Okay, that's when you have this famine. Okay, where people will die of famine. They cannot grow crops at all. 3,000 more years to go, folks. Okay, so now you know. You should start going to food production when it gets close. And that's when you get filthy rich. Forget about Silicon Valley. That's when I forget about AI and whatever technology they're going to have back then. I go into farming. Yeah, farming, but probably like farming in the air or space or something. All right? Yeah. Okay, so when the average lifespan is 30 years, you have a famine calamity where most people will die of starvation. What you're seeing right now of people dying of famine out there in the world is nothing compared to this calamity. It's very difficult to take, trust me. Okay, so you see, it's funny, but from 30 years until you reach 20 years, that's how many years is that, boys? I don't trust my math anymore. I certainly lost confidence thanks to these engineers. Okay? Every 100 years, you decrease by 1. So from 30 to 20, that's 10, right? So 1,000 years later, you go into the next calamity, okay? When the average lifespan is 20 years, then you have the fire calamity. What happens in our world here, if you will be around that time, you know what's going to happen. Anyone knows? And those who know, don't raise your hands. See, they don't get it. You don't think it's funny. If you know, have the answer, don't raise your hands. So those you raise hands, say, wrong. Okay. Why would there be a fire? How does that work? What's going to happen is that in the sky, all of a sudden, there appears 9 more suns. 9 more. Right now, 1 sun is enough to keep us warm during the day, yeah? You have 9 more suns. It burns everything. Everything like your gas stove. Combustion. Instant combustion. Okay? So it burns everything. Every single thing. Water, body water is evaporate. Everything is burned. Okay? 1 sun, imagine yourself, 1 sun in a Sahara desert. Imagine you multiply 10 times temperature-wise. Think about it. It destroys everything. Yes, Way Mountain.
Master, it sounds like a nine body problems. But my question is, during these calamities, there's no more Buddha Dharmas?
Nope, no more. You're right. At that time, when the word Buddha Dharma does not even arise in people's mind, forget it. By then, it's totally extinct. The thought of Buddha cannot even arise, let alone Dharma. Nothing. Zilch. Yes, continue it.
So during this beginning of turbidity to the end of turbidity, any bodhisattvas or Buddhas will appear?
No, the Bodhisattvas say, hey, I'm out of here. I'm not coming. These people are crazy. It's too hot. Bodhisattva said, you know, there are plenty of places I can go to. Why should I go to when it's so hot? Okay?
Wow.
And then 1,000 years later, then the third calamity in the last one. That's called Tao Bing. How do you translate? What's English for Tao Bing? No. Tao is not war. Bing is not war. Your Chinese has issues. You don't use AI. Kids nowadays use AI, you know that? Do homework, to write papers, they all use AI. Everyone uses AI, including me. I use AI for translation. Huh? Okay. Tao Bing is that Tao is weapon, Bing is army. Okay. Army weapon. What does it tell you? At this time, the average lifespan is 10 years, meaning you'll be dead. Isn't that emphatic? You're dead already, boy. And you're born, you're dead again in 10 years. Okay, what happened is that people are always angry. Okay? And what happens when they see someone else? No, wait. You're skipping a step. When, for example, you see Jung there, okay? All of a sudden, one look at him, you get angry. You get upset. He said, what did I do? What did I do? No, it's not what you do. You are there, therefore that's enough, okay? So they get upset, and you know what happened next? I know so much. I shouldn't reveal all these things to you. Subscription base. All of a sudden, when you get upset, you go berserk. That's when magically, are you sure you want to know? You do want to know? Okay. All of a sudden, a knife appears in your arm. And you go Isn't that amazing? No rhyme or reason. As soon you see someone, you see like apple of WMT, LA apple, you get upset at her. Or if you're left-handed, or if you're Kung Fu, you have a roundhouse kick to the head. You do roundhouse kicks? Can you jump, or you have to stand on the ground? Okay, demonstration. Yeah, demonstration. There's a piece of space there. Okay. Okay. No, that's not a roundhouse kick, son.
That's one kind.
Yeah, roundhouse. Yeah. Impressive. Yeah. Okay, so that's why in this last calamity, disaster of the world, so many people die because we kill each other. And you know what happens to the people who have blessings, like us, like you? You happen to be born there. You know what happens to you? Would you like to know? If you have real blessing, you will not be born. Okay. During this time, you be born in the Pure Land, okay? But you happen to be born in this time. You know what happens to you? Naturally, as soon you're able to walk, like when at the age of 1 or 2 years old, that's all it takes for you to begin walking. Because you only live 10 years. You cannot afford to wait 10 years like them to walk and run, okay? At 1 year old, you can walk and run already. And your legs are as long as frog legs. Obsession with frog legs, you know. That's from the Koreans. Okay, so if you want it, I'm telling you because all of you will be considered to be the 0.01%. Okay, not 0.1%, but 0.01%, because it's not too many of you. If those you have blessings, what naturally happens is that you will move away from San Jose. Because San Jose, too many crazy people. Okay? So you move to the forest, and that's how you avoid this calamity. That's the only way. Because anyone who sees you, they will kill you. It's automatic. And that's why it's called calamity. There's no way for you to avoid it. No way. You run away. That's all you do. So that is like this. If you ever want to know what it's like at that time, watch Last Train to Busan. See, they don't know what that movie is. See? It's a horror movie. The zombies, oh. And they prefer to eat boys. No? Okay, so that's a compatibility. That time there's nothing you can do. You suffer, you die. And unless you have prior blessings, there's nothing you can do. If you have the blessings, they actually avoid the cities, they run away. That's all. Okay? Because you can trust no one. Especially the ones you look around right now, don't trust them anymore. Like that guy over there, orange, red, don't trust them. Okay, second turbidity is called view turbidity. Okay? And what's view turbidity? That's our times right now, when after the proper Dharma period has expired. Proper Dharma period is 500 years after the Buddha's death. That's still proper Dharma era, that time where people will encounter Buddha Dharma, they cultivate, they become enlightened. Okay? That's called proper Dharma era. People cultivate and they become enlightened. Okay? And then the Dharma semblance era has begun. And during that time, you have some deviant dharmas that will come to the world. Okay? And you have deviant views increasing, and no one cultivates the way anymore. Okay? So we are a little bit past that now already. So we passed the view turbidity already. We're into the third one, affliction turbidity. Affliction is, I don't know if that applies to you. Living beings have a lot of love and desire. Not you, right? No. Except for him, yeah. Right? No love and desire. Okay? Very stingy, very greedy, would like to fight. Maybe Vanessa. Okay? And Chanchu, Xi Guang. Chanchu is torturous. They never direct. Okay? They think they're smart so that they don't need to commit to you. They torture us. I want you. This is, to me, so insightful to see the description here of the behavior so that you see where we are. Don't look at the time. If you look at a person, this describes a person's behavior. Okay? If a person who was sneaky, torturous, he belongs to the third turbidity. Okay? And greedy, stingy, fighting, Chung Sunim. Okay? And that's affliction turbidity. Okay? And they prefer to go near the deviant dharmas. Okay? And that's why they're constantly agitated and afflicted. So the affliction feeds on itself. More and more affliction. Okay? So that's the era right now. Agree? Look around. Such people, they are representative of the affliction turbidity. Okay? Fourth one, living beings turbidity. Okay? That is, these living beings, the particular living beings, like to do despicable and evil things. This is despicable. Okay? That is meaning that anyone who can think, who is educated, will look at it and frown. It's despicable. Okay? And not this fourth ability era, they are not filial. They are not respectful of their parents and their elders. That's trouble for you. Not fearful of the evil karmas and retribution, their retributions. I can think of one guy, but since I said I will not go into politics the rest of the day, so I will stay away from it. Okay? To me, it's fascinating for you to see where people are. Because of this description, you have to be very careful when you approach them. With extreme caution, folks. Okay? They don't do merit and virtue. They do not cultivate wisdom. They do not give. They don't eat vegetarian. Okay? She's not vegetarian, your mother, is she? Never mind. Okay? And they don't keep precepts. You see? That's our era too. Okay? Life turbidity. Okay, final one, fifth one. Is because of, this is interesting, the explanation here is because you create evil karma, that's why your life shortens. Meaning what? If you create good karmas, what happens? Life. You want to live longer? Do good. Okay? And so that's why people who do evil things, their lives are shortened. Okay? That's why I said those people who are killers and so forth, they are very, very sick inside. Very, very sick. Okay? Questions and comments? Is this too detailed for you? This is too much for you? I would like to keep it PG because you have children here today. Does that interest you? 30 years old? You are halfway in your life already. No? You're so quiet. Did I lose you? Yeah, Apple. What brings you here today, by the way?
I just got a free ride.
A free ride?
Yeah, because of your temple.
Ah, I see. Oh, it's nice to have you.
Thank
you very much.
We'll be following you, Master.
Yeah, a scary thought. I hope you can make it to the Pure Land. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
Now I got a third question. Well, just two comments. I think Tao Bing means knife and military.
And war.
War.
Bing
And then
is war.
I
There's
heard.
no Bing unless it's war.
Okay.
So
that
the
Tao,
U.S. is prepared for war everywhere in the world.
Okay, Tao means knife. I heard a different version story than the one that you told. They said they see the grasses and then the grass they they pick the grass and it become a knife and they could kill people with that.
Yeah. If there's places where there's grass, the blades, grass blades become a knife. It's true. But in a desert, it's no grass. So nomads, if you only talk about that in a desert is safe, no, it's not safe. The only safe place is no people. Okay? So even in a desert, no blades of grass, still knife appears ahead.
And then I have a question, Master.
Of course. Always.
Regarding 42 hands transmission, so like we know we get transmission from you and then we could practice. What about like the people who pass away, like the one who went to Pure Land or the one in 49 days or the one who has a plaque, and they stay with us and they participate and they practice. Do they just automatically get the 42 hands and eye transmission from you also, or how does it work?
I'm not in a hurry to leave yet, so don't worry. Let me think about it. Let me work on it, okay?
No. I mean the one, like the 49 days plaque right now. If they stay right here and practice with us, we don't kick them out. So does that mean they all get the transmission from you?
No. I only give it to people I like.
Thank you.
I separate work from liking personal life. Next question. Okay? Okay. And so let me go to 42. We have a few more minutes. One vehicle, meaning the Buddha vehicle, can accommodate all types of individuals. Concerning teaching different karmic rewards, in the Buddha land, in the Amitabha Buddha Spirit Land, for example, there's only one vehicle, okay, because that's all you need. And number 4, don't worry about it. That's what it means. Okay, this is where it's a little bit more theoretical than that. Okay, so 43, based on mind. How do you explain the Buddha land from the perspective of the mind? It says here, truth is that your mind is ultimately empty and tranquil. And Lloyd says, I don't believe you. Okay, my mind is not empty, it's certainly not tranquil. That's why ultimately is a key word. It's not there yet, but eventually it will be empty and tranquil. Because that's the nature of the mind. However, sentient beings, most of you are deluded. Very few are not upside down. Upside down is that you believe it's wrong, but you think it's right. It's right and you think it's wrong. That's why it's upside down. Good and evil arise from causing condition ignorance, okay? And all phenomena that arise are empty, false, and middle, okay? And don't need to understand too much. Middle realms is for good and evil arising from causative condition, where ordinary beings and enlightened cohabit. Okay, middle realm. I probably chat PT error should fix this. I forgot. I didn't include the Chinese, so I can't fix it here. This is clearly the wrong translation. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so these are the aspects of the mind that you should know. Okay. Buddhism is particularly focused on the nature of the mind. We harness the the potential of your minds and mold your mind so that you can wield the true power of your mind, the true clarity and wisdom inherent in your mind that you're all endowed with. Okay? When you observe, next bullet point, where you observe a land as pure or impure, is actually it's in the lens of good versus evil, and when you understand emptiness of cause and conditions, meaning even though you believe in cause and effect, okay, and causes and conditions, okay, and then you still are not attached to that knowledge and that understanding. You enter the realm of emptiness, okay, and so what it means here is that this is what we use to help you develop your wisdom. So it doesn't make sense to you, but for a person like me, I look at it as, this is why, what I went through this process, that's why we got there. So I can use now, because I've been there, so now I can use that process, but understand the principle behind it, if you will. So don't worry if you don't understand, it's okay. But those of you who are bored and falling asleep, okay, you will be sorry, because in the future, when you are supposed to teach someone and help bring someone to the land of residues, okay, and you say, oops, I missed the section where Master YongHua explained to me how it's supposed to happen. Okay, don't worry about it. Yeah. And that's, by the way, that's the nature of the training. First, let me summarize by telling you this. The way we train you, your training is actually has different aspects. When you are, because I learned it from Master YongHua, when you are so afflicted, you suffer so much, the nature of your confusion is knowledge. You know too much. And your knowledge are a hindrance to your liberation. You know way too much. You want to know too much. Okay? You love knowledge and you seek knowledge, you like knowledge, but there's a flip side to knowledge is you know too much. Okay? What it means is that you start processing. You say, I know, I heard it before, let me see. Okay? And what does that mean? You're thinking. See the problem? So that's why we understand that. So that's why I learned, picked up from Master YongHua, the Wei Yang training is that we only tell you enough so that you get there. Okay? You get to the land with residues without needing to know too much. But once you get there, now it's okay to explain to you. More. Not everything yet. Okay? Just explain more, because you are able to absorb more. So this is the beauty of the Wei Yang training I saw in Master YongHua. Only know so much and provide you with a narrow path and the canopy on top to protect you, so that you can walk down this alley safely and no one pays attention to you. Okay? When you get there, then we can review. Now you're here, let me tell you about life, son. Be careful. Don't fall in love too quickly. That kind of thing. Have they talked to you? See, you're not there yet. That's my point. See? And so when you get there, then you can absorb more. Okay? That's the next phase. And another phase higher is that when you have to teach, that's when you have to learn these things. Because then you understand what it takes for people to get there. Okay? So even though it may not make sense to you right now, okay, at all levels, but this is important for you to plant the seeds. In the future, when you hear it again, and it's time, you can absorb it very fast. Because if you hear it for the first time, it's not easy for you to grasp it. Okay? So this is actually, as I answered your question this morning, how do I get there? You are being primed to get there. Hey. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We stop here today. Aloha.